seafood here on the West Coast is unbelievable, and I've been lucky enough to source a coral trout. Now, this is enough for 4 people, and something that's quite special is a local river prawn. Now, these are in season right now, so I just couldn't help myself. I want to be able to cook these too and show you how wonderful they are served with a sambal. Now, this is not a traditional sambal. It's a bit of a jazzy sambal. Usually sambal, you would cook it in lots of oil for a very long time, but I want to give my sambal a bit of a fresh take using some raw mango. Now, a key ingredient in any sambal is Bulacan, and this is a shrimp paste. But to get as much flavour out of it as possible, I need to toast it. So I'm just going to take a small amount off. It is pungent, and if you ate it just like this, it would not be pleasant. But if you mix it with all the other ingredients, it does give a really nice savoury flavour. So I'm just going to place that into a pan and just toast that off just to really get all those flavours out. Now I need to pound up some chilies and shallots. Now, this is the smallest mortar and pestle I could find. Only kidding, I've got a smaller one here, but this is more dramatic, and I think we're going to get more flavour out of it if I pound in this. Isn't it gorgeous? So in here, I'm going to add some shallots, so just some purple shallots. I'm just going to chop them up just to give me a helping hand, just roughly, because I want this sambal to have quite a lot of texture. And in it goes, along with some chilies. So 2 varieties of chilies. I'm going to be using some long chilies, which have a milder, sweeter flavour to them. And I'm going to be using some small chilies, and they are fiery. And I want this sambal to be fiery. So in with the long ones, and the small ones, like bird's eye chilies they are, we just want 2 and just cut them. If you don't want it as hot, you can leave the seeds out, but let's go all out. And I just want to pound that so we get a really rough paste. This is going to take a while. Okay. By all means, if you're doing this at home, I give you permission to use a small blender just to get that really chopped. But it is the right texture for this sambal, so we can continue on. This is toasted off, so the shrimp paste has a really nice smell to it now, so we'll add that to our mortar and pestle. And again, just pounding that, crush it up, and that's the key ingredient to this. For some sweetness, a little bit of sugar, a pinch of salt, and some tamarind. The sourness of the tamarind is going to go so nicely with our mango. So, a small teaspoon of the tamarind puree. And we'll give that another mix. Fantastic. For the mango, now you can use a classic ripe mango, or if you can get your hands on an unripened mango, use it. It's crunchy, it's tangy, it's not too sweet. It's the perfect balance for a sambal like this. See how crunchy the sound of that is? That's what I want for this. So just slice it, take that seed off, and I'm just going to slice it and then dice. So we want it into small little pieces so it really mixes in with the sambal sauce. So gather it all up, turn it around, and then finally chop that. Now you can use other fruit for this. Pineapple is wonderful. Lychee is another great fruit to use. You can even change it up completely and add some fresh coconut. So we'll place that into our mortar and pestle, sprinkle that in, and some fresh lime. I love the limes here in Malaysia. They're so small, but they are full of juice. They're also full of seeds. So my little trick is just to get your hand and use it as a sieve. So just squeeze the limes and catch all those seeds. Okay, one last little mix. Oh, that smells so good. It's the perfect condiment for our seafood. Now to barbecue our fish and prawns. I've left the skin on, it's still whole with the head on, and I've simply butterflied it. So just straight down the backbone there, but leaving it intact. By doing that, we've got a beautiful presentation. I've also taken all the bones out. Before I put that on the barbecue, some vegetable oil, just a drizzle on each side, and a good pinch of salt. We want to season our fish. It's a large fish, so lots of salt. And on the skin side, oil, not too much oil on the skin. Okay. And another pinch of salt. The salt on the skin is not only going to season it, it's also going to ensure it doesn't stick too much. And then our prawns, they don't need anything. They will go on as is whole. So let's get cooking on the barbecue. This needs to go down skin side. Now, isn't this a thing of beauty? There's nothing better than freshly barbecued seafood. It's charred, it's perfectly cooked. I love that smell, particularly when you're cooking out in the open just like this. The prawns are perfectly cooked. I brought them off just a little earlier, and now for the sambal, we're just going to get a big spoon and serve it on the side. You can top the fish with the sambal if you like. I like to serve it on the side because it's piping hot, so you can allow your guests to serve as much or as little as they like into the bowl and smell that mango. And what I like to do, because the limes are just so juicy, an extra lime on the side of the fish, just there. That is an absolute feast in paradise. Oh, I